Join us. I do recommend it. Boom, 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 boom. Indeed, I do believe that we are live now. It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles, and it is Thursday, May 23rd, AD 2024. And what will we cover today? I wanted to cover this story about this guy who got shot and killed. An airman. He was from the Air Force, I guess? Something like that. A black guy. 23-year-old baby-faced guy. It's horrible. But they are turning him into a victim, and his family, his family members, I guess you would call them, relatives, they're using none other than the evil Benjamin Crump. Evil Benjamin Crump. So that's senseless. And they're acting like, oh, it's unconscious bias. Unconscious bias. So that's evil too. What a mess. Terrible. I'm going live on IG, Instagram. What is up, everybody? I think I'm live on Twitter, and which is X. Nobody watches there, and I don't blame you. Some of you guys sometimes watch there. I'm here on YouTube, DLive, Twitch, and Rumble, I do believe. I will get to your calls, guys. Some of you are already on hold. Is there anything else that... I haven't been getting to much lately. Hailie got married. Aww. I think my dad's gone crazy. Hailie got married over the weekend. Hailie. That's Eminem's daughter. Real name, Marshall Mathers. I didn't know that was his real name. Marshall something Mathers III. Huh. Huh. Isn't that nice, though? She seems... She appears all ladylike. I don't know, but she appears that way. Although she does have a big social media presence. Can you blame her? I don't know. These young people. 28 years old. Married now. A tall guy. A white man. And maybe some other things. We'll see how it goes, right? Beautiful music, hopefully. So anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I'm wearing a nice, what is this, a coyote or a wolf or a fox? Probably a desert fox, right? Because this is from Joshua Tree. And it's a nice color shirt. Has a, well, I'm not going to point out anything. I'm not going to point out any of the negative features other than the fact that it is not 100% cotton. What a mess. I like 100% cotton. It doesn't smell as bad as fast. And it doesn't feel as hot. You know, all these other blends, polyester and stuff. Terrible. Let me start off right with a call or two, guys. And then we'll get into a couple of these stories. Hayden is a first-time caller in Texas, Tejas. How you doing, Hayden? Thank you for calling. Is it Hayden?
It's actually HADEN.
Okay, nice. Good to hear from you, man. Appreciate you calling.
Absolutely. I'm excited for it. Your name is James Hake, correct?
That's right.
Awesome, yeah. Because I've seen you on Jesse's show, and I really love y'all's views and stuff. I came across this article the other day. I want to see your reaction to it.
Okay.
It says I don't know how to pronounce it, specifically, but it's Minneapolis in Minnesota reaches a $150,000 settlement with eyewitness of George Floyd's murder, who says experience gave him PTSD. How does that make you feel as someone on the side of good?
Who received all this money?
an eyewitness of George Floyd's murder.
Oh, an eyewitness got an eyewitness of his quote unquote murder with an asterisk because
Gave
we
him PTSD.
has PTSD from witnessing it, and she is a she, is it or is it a he? Probably didn't even need to.
It's a male. It's a beta male.
Oh no. Is it that guy who said, he is human, bro? I used to be on his side, but after I watched the full video, because I didn't watch the whole video of the arrest and, you know, the knee on the neck and stuff until like several months ago. And then I'm like, oh, this guy's saying he is human, bro. He's actually obnoxious. He's like, you a bum, man. And he's not the only meddler. And so I don't know if it's that guy or somebody else. And that guy was black. But that's
this one is too.
That's evil. That's pathetic. That's liar culture. There's this stereotype that I've learned from my like Asian or Hispanic friends that whites sue. I'll sue. And I don't know if whites sue. Not normal whites anyway. I was raised suing is bad. I didn't even think you're supposed to sue if you're a Christian. But I guess there is a time and place for it, maybe. But that is a victimhood thing, and why wouldn't he get that money, get that bag? But that's evil. That is fake, and that is sick. It's perverted.
That was in 2020.
Wow.
That was in 2020. And
so the city of Minneapolis settled for $100,000? Is that what you said?
They were that stupid to give this man quote unquote, $150,000 for PTSD. He doesn't even know a slave or a slave owner.
Right. And that wasn't even a murder. That was just $150,000. And it wasn't like part of the reason I didn't watch it is because I don't like seeing people suffer in videos. You know, I'm not into that. I watched a few ISIS videos, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this anymore. You know, the ISIS beheadings and stuff.
ISIS is another thing. ISIS is real. This George Floyd thing was he acted like an animal. Yeah,
he was out of control. He was out of his mind. And I don't know if it was from drugs or just from his overreactive nature. It might have been from drugs.
It was drugs and him overreacting. I mean,
both.
Like he was. I watched the entire thing, even when they put him on I think they call it a gurney when they like stretch it out and put the person on it once they pass away.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just out of control, and you know, I hate to say that people deserve this and that, but I mean, he did it to himself. You know?
Right. Wow. Oh my goodness.
I was gonna call on Jesse too to ask him about it, but I overslept a little bit. I've been up all morning, but I wanted to see his reaction too.
Yeah.
But I also have another.
Okay, go ahead. No, I just was looking up Google this totally useless website to confirm the story that you said. Star witness, an MMA fighter no less, Donald Williams, who tried to intervene in George Floyd's so-called killing, reached a $150,000 settlement with the city over his PTSD. So that's according to lipstickalley.com, and that's like a sort of a sloppy website, I guess. But wow, that's a wild story. Thank you for the tip on that. And that's the corrupt nature of our courts, you know? Terrible.
Yep.
What a mess.
You're exactly. We can get more into that. I love what you and Jesse do, so I'll probably call again and we can talk more about this. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
You're fine. Go ahead.
But I also have one more thing.
Yeah.
I admire, you and Jesse's platform. What y'all do in the platform is so needed, especially for today. I just turned 21 years old. My birthday, I didn't know this, is 2 days before Jesse's. I just turned 21.
Oh, right on.
Thank you. I would love to know what steps should I take in process of making a show like like y'all's too. I just think it's so important for today's society.
Oh, so you want to make a show, just
I would love to.
step by step. If it's meant to be, it'll work out. Like, use your computer and just start recording and say what's up and start doing your thing and let it grow from there. Start your channel or
Like
whatever.
on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah. And then let it grow. Let it grow from there.
Jesse did.
JLP started on radio long before I even knew about him. He was a radio talk show host, as well as like a preacher. He began preaching and holding meetings basically.
I got you.
And so he would lead meetings and talk and got on radio, local terrestrial radio stations, and then he started a TV show pretty quickly as well. And got a team together after he had built his business, because he had started a business and he started off working, and then he started a business on the side, and then after all that he sold that business, and I think he did Bond. He started Bond, and then he eventually had to let the business go, sold the business, and started Bond. So he's been working and investing and building up, and so make sure you have your life together, you're working and all that stuff, so that you don't just squander and wait around for money to come and spinning your wheels.
Donation. Did he have a large following from the beginning?
I don't think so. I mean, you get on radio and there's different people listening, and people will call in angry. The phones will light up because he's telling the truth with from a place of authority, and that just lights up. That just energizes the audience. Kind of like when Trump speaks, it energizes the audience. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then for me, I didn't even want or know about radio, want to have a show or anything, but I was offered the opportunity, and I took the opportunity.
Oh, I see.
So it wasn't even something in my mind. And I don't even think it was in JLP's mind, because he has a cleft palate, can barely speak English, can hardly read, but he has the spirit of truth in him. So.
Yep, that's 100% factor there.
Yeah. I wish you well, man.
Well.
It's good to hear from you.
I'm
Are you black or white?
100% white.
Nice.
100% white.
Right on. Well, it's good to hear from you. Call me again. Hayden in Texas. Appreciate you.
Yes. Yes, I appreciate talking to you.
All right. Bye. Thomas in California on the line here. Thomas, thank you for calling. What's up?
James, thank you for taking my call. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Outstanding. It's a beautiful day up here in NorCal. Yeah.
Nice. Beautiful NorCal. Yep. I love NorCal. I love SoCal better because I know SoCal better, but I have a lot of respect for Northern California.
California just in itself is a very beautiful place. It's a real shame what's been happening the last couple of decades. But anyway, that's not why I called. The reason why I called was about dogs and horses. Now, I believe that they, in particular, are gifts from God. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Yes, they are. But they can also be abused. Just as there's a lot of things that are gifts from God, but then they're like worshipped. And so that's where it goes awry.
That's true.
Yeah.
And there's also worldly things that are worldly, which can be used for good or evil, like a firearm is a worldly thing.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I would say dogs and horses in particular are gifts from God.
Why do you say that, though? What makes you say that? They're gifts from God.
Yeah, I was about to jump into that. The biggest reason is that they know and they're born with, they see humans as the image of God. That's why they obey us. That's why they work for us. And they lay down their life for us. Like, think about all the horses that have rode into battle. You know what I mean? If they weren't seeing and obeying God's image, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't, Does that make sense? Are you following?
I guess so. I mean, God told us to subdue the earth and everything in it. So we subdued
Yeah.
these animals. We broke the horse's spirit and made him die for us. Nice.
No. I say they're born that way. Same thing with dogs. Dogs are born to
Nice.
look to humans for help.
Right on.
We are God's image, yeah. And he did give us dominion over all the animals. That's why you see people can take almost any animal, an exotic type of animal, from birth and imprint on them. It doesn't always end well. Like, I don't know if you remember the lady who raised chimpanzees and then they turned on her one day.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
specifically that story, but it
Oh,
sounds
yeah,
familiar.
it happened, but
It sounds like
yeah.
many such cases.
Yeah.
People been
You won't
mauled
really
by
get that from-
bears and stuff.
Yeah. And then also when it comes to dogs, too, when they turn on humans, it's only because the humans that raised them put the evil in them. They're not born that way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I used to hear about like different wild animals, if they would like in the Bible, if a wild animal kills a person, in the Old Testament, you're supposed to kill that animal. Isn't that true?
I'm not sure. I would have to look that up.
Yeah.
I would say it's no problem. One thing that is written that Christ said is that the life of a man is worth more than many sparrows. This is true.
Yeah.
Killing an animal in revenge, like tracking it down later and killing it, I don't know about that. That doesn't sound right, but definitely defending human life from any animal
Right.
is a no-brainer.
Yeah, because
right?
once they get a taste of that blood, then they're going to kill again. So it's not even revenge. It's the circle of life. Blood in, blood out.
You do make a good point right there. Yeah. I remember in India in particular, and I think also in Africa, there were stories of in India a tiger that was basically kidnapping and eating humans, sometimes children. Same thing in Africa. They made a movie about it with Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas. The Ghost in the Darkness, I think, is the name of it. It's about these two lions that were hunting people, and they were convinced that they were demon-possessed. So do I.
Wow.
True story. Yeah, you should check that out if you get a chance. Yeah, it's a good film.
Interesting, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. One last thing before I let you get to the rest of the callers. I haven't listened to Jesse's show too much this week. I tried to call today about the BQ. That one's a good one. I'm going to try tomorrow.
The biblical question, you said. You're going to answer the biblical question? Yeah, definitely call in first thing tomorrow if you can on JLP's show.
Have you guys spoke about that? I'm not going to ask you to speak on it.
Yeah, the experts have.
We're not.
I don't think the experts have spoken on this week's biblical question yet.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he'll get to that tomorrow. And then, that was going to be the last thing I was going to say. I tried to call Jesse, wish him a belated happy birthday, and take a crack at the BQ. Yeah, it's a real good one. But anyway, thanks for taking my call, James. And, we'll talk again soon. And, God bless.
Cool, man. Thank you, Thomas in California. Appreciate you, man. Bye.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Let me read a few super chats, guys, before too long. Greggatron on Streamlabs says, Hake, I didn't like Mark's calls in the beginning. You know, my caller, Mark from Los Angeles. But he's really growing on me. I'd put him in my top 10 callers, and I'm black. He's black. BLAHHT. And he spelled black with a capital B. Wow, Greggatron, wow. Greggatron with another tip on Streamlabs. Markism. Here's my list, give or take. Number 13, top 13th caller, Rick, the truck driver. Yeah, Rick from Maine. Haven't heard from him in a while. David from Florida, Ocala, is number 12, top 12. Denny from Bulgaria, number 11. 10 is Mark. Mark from Los Angeles, and he's white. Very white. Number 9 is Dr. Detroit, whom I think I banned. Number 8 is Jeremiah from Louisiana. I forget whether I banned Jeremiah or if he just hasn't called in a while. But you're unbanned, Jeremiah from Louisiana. You are unbanned. You are welcome to call again because it is the Jubilee. There's only a couple people who remain in away from the Jubilee. The Jubilee doesn't apply to them. But Jubilee, all banned callers. And if you're a chatter, you want to be unbanned from the live chat, I can unban you. We're doing Jubilee. Thank you. Jeremiah from Louisiana. Ms. Parks. Remember Miss Parks? 10 is a low ball score for a legend. I know, but do you remember Ms. Parks? Rick, who calls late, Rick from Hampton, is number 6. Wow. Maze is Hake's favorite caller. She's number 5. Artie Art is number 4. Tony from California is number 3. Earl from Michigan, whom we haven't heard from in 3-4 years. Terrible. 3 years, I would say. Because I got Georgia, Florida from Earl from Michigan. And William in California, number 1 for Greggatron. Thank you, Greggatron. Those are the Hall of Famers, according to Nick the Anchor Baby. And yeah, Maze is my first favorite caller. Earl is my second favorite caller. And it's all, I love the rest of you all the same. I don't play favorites. Mark is top 3, says Hassan. Wow. John in Texas is on the line here. I want to get to a couple more calls, and then I will get to these stories. John, thank you for calling there. How you doing? Are you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Dang it. There's an ad playing on my phone. What the heck?
I can hear you, though. I don't hear the ad.
Hey, Hake, I like calling in the show, and I like listening to the show. You're fair to the flat earthers.
Nice.
I listen every day.
Cool, man.
So I have to now, tell you why I'm not a flat earther anymore.
Oh, okay. You were once a flat earther, but no more.
Well, not even a flat earther, but I just know 100% for certain that the earth is round.
Oh, you know it's round now. Before you were in the flat earth camp just because you didn't believe it to be round, but now you think it's round, a ball.
Yes. Do you know what a Foucault pendulum is?
A Foucault pendulum?
Foucault, French. It's French.
Oh, okay.
Foucalt. Foucault.
Oh, I always thought it was Foucault. All right, Foucault. A Foucault pendulum. Is that the thing
It's
where
French.
it goes bzz, 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 and it's a whole bunch of the balls on the swing things, and they're like metal? Is that what it is?
No, have you gone to a science museum and there's just a giant pendulum hanging down?
Oh, no, I haven't. I've only been to art museums.
What?
Okay, and
I've
then I
never
went to
been
the
to-
La Brea tar pits and I saw some animals too. But I've never been to a science museum that I recall. So a F-O-U-C-A-U-L-T
That's all you need to know.
pendulum, and it's, okay, and it swings perpetually?
It's, I'm not really good at explaining, but
Yeah.
it is swings on a plane.
Okay. Yeah.
And the plane is, okay, so it swings on a plane. The plane, if you watch, 4 words, watch the world turn. Watch the world turn. Because the Foucault pendulum, when you place it in the North Pole, when you place it in the equator, when you place it in the South Pole, and everywhere in between, there is a slight change in the plane of the pendulum. So you're just seeing the effect of rotation onto the pendulum.
Whoa.
Right. So you don't even know exactly I know for sure that the earth is round 100%, but I don't know if the scale of the entire universe. On a greater scale to explain that, but as far as I know, it explains a rotation and that the Earth is round.
Huh. I did not know this. It was developed by Leon Foucault, which looks like Foucault to a normie English-speaking, ignorant Hake American. Long and heavy pendulum suspended from a high roof above a circular area, monitored over an extended time period, showing that its plane of oscillation rotated. Interesting. And it was conceived as an experiment to demonstrate the Earth's rotation. That's wild. Introduced in 1851. Gave simple, direct evidence of the Earth's rotation, according to Wikipedia. Nice, man.
Yeah, just 4 words. Watch the world turn. Foucault Pendulum.
Wow.
I'm not really good at like making it make sense, but
No, you're fine. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand science either. I am capable of understanding it if I read it, I think, and look into it. But I can't explain it simply. And I'm kind of baffled at how it proves it. But do you kind of understand how it proves it? That the Earth is rotating?
Okay, let me try to... It's a force. Like, you know when you go past something real fast, you get I don't know, it's like a force like gravity, or it's like I have to know more about science, really.
Yeah.
I have to know more about science to explain it, but
yeah. Physics specifically or something like that, huh?
But if you remember, watch the world turn, and then the scientists, they explain it, and I can't really recreate that explanation.
Yeah.
Other than what I told you, they place at the North Pole.
I didn't even
monitor the tilt.
Is it similar to, like, supposedly the whirlpool, a natural whirlpool of the of water going down a drain goes one, like, say it goes clockwise on one northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere, and on the other hemisphere it goes counterclockwise. Is it like that?
That's interesting. That's interesting because it does the same thing.
Oh, wow. And then supposedly, and I was sort of baffled by the notion that, are the stars mirrored? We're looking at like a reverse of the stars if we go down to the southern hemisphere. I'm like, why would that be? But I guess it's because they're looking down from the back. Are they looking at the back of it? I don't understand that.
I don't know if you can go anywhere by just standing on the Earth, and looking with your eyes. I don't think you can prove to anyone.
To me, it just
round.
makes sense that it's a ball when I look at the ocean. Like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, such an obvious globe. And the flat earther seems to lack the imagination to picture it as a globe from that. And I seem to lack the imagination to picture it as a flat earth from looking at it. And anyway, whatever.
Yeah,
it's called centrifugal force or centripetal force. Because centrifugal force is a fake force. Centripetal force is a force inward toward the center of the thing. Hake is hopeless.
Well, Physics is actually really interesting to me. I mean, I
Yeah,
had
me
a
too.
good teacher,
Mhm.
and then I had to move in school. I had a good teacher, and I was starting to get into school, and I had to move. It was just
GMD Jim says,
terrible.
Hake, Foucault is pronounced Foucault. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Foucault. Boring topics is life by a thread, and this call is so interesting. Straight face emoji says Nugget Man. I am quite interested in it. I don't care about you chatters and list. Well, I care. But no, I like this subject, John in Texas. And it's funny because neither of us know it well enough to explain it simply, which suggests we don't know it. But there's something to it that makes sort of sense, vaguely.
Well, I definitely will call in again.
Cool, man. Yeah, definitely do. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Thank you, Hake.
All right. Thank you,
Happy
John.
birthday, Jesse.
Yeah, happy birthday, JLP, yesterday. Cool, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So, we're at the bottom of the hour. I have more calls to get to. There is one line open and more super chats I'm sure to get to. But, congratulations to Hailie. You guys remember Hailie? I think my dad's gone crazy. Isn't that a great song, Hassan? It is a great song. I heard that she got in the Guinness Book of World Records, Hailie. This is the daughter of Marshall Mathers, who I knew a guy who knew his maybe sister, dated his sister. Maybe? He was like a white from Detroit area, right? Something like that. She was 6 years old in like 2001 or 2002-ish, I want to say. Yeah, because I think she was born in like 95, 96, when I was like a freshman or something in high school. And then, Hake is really excited about this story. And then after high school ended, I was in college and driving to the desert with my friends, and we're listening to dun 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 dun. Hey everybody, listen up. I'm going to HE double toothpicks. Nad. It's like a little 6-year-old girl, the youngest R&B and rap singer in the Guinness Book of World Records. Congratulations. That's almost like Michael Jackson. Wasn't he a little kid singing? I think my dad's gone crazy. And then he sang in another, or rapped in another song or rap piece. Is it a rap track? Is it a piece? Is it a song? Because you sing a song, you play a piece, you rap a track. Eminem is basic as blank. Yeah, I know. He proved to be a lame-o guy, but he's like, yeah, I wouldn't let Hailie listen to me neither. He knows he's inappropriate. Eminem is pure garbage. I heard somebody in the comments section, is it comment section or comments section, stated that he married his wife, divorced his wife, married her again, divorced her again. He got his daughter from his wife or ex-wife. Didn't say that he was using her on a track, so the ex-wife is all mad. I don't think he needed the mother's permission to put her on a track. And that was a nice... If you're going to be a degenerate, do something that's kind of wholesome. It's kind of cute. But anyway, there was a rap song from when she was 6 years old. Now she's 28, and she just married. She just got married to a tall white man. A tall white guy. And she looks, on the outside, somewhat sensible and ladylike, not effeminate. Feminine. Effeminate is a negative sense. Feminine is a positive sense. She seems feminine. So right on, Hailie. Hailie Jade. I guess she's a singer or a rapper or something like that too. Podcaster, whatever. Famous, young person. Is that Gen Z or is she Gen Y, millennial? 28 might be Gen Z. We wish her well in her marriage. Is she Christian? But anyway, that's what I found out, that she married. I don't know how that came up. Maybe it had to do with something that Joel Friday said on his show, or American Anchor Baby said on his show. It made me look up Eminem's daughter because of the My Dad's Gone Crazy song. I think my dad's gone crazy. If you're going to be degenerate, be wholesome. Yeah, I remember thinking, oh, isn't that sweet? Tupac sang a rap song, rapped a rap piece about his mama. But then in that very rap track, song, piece, he said, no love from my father because the coward wasn't there. Something like that, right? Terrible. And then, quote, this fake love for mama is part of the problem. Part of the own destruction of the blacks. So that wasn't a positive thing at all. Lady, don't you know I love you, sweet lady? Poor Eminem. He wishes he could be like Trump, a true enemy of the people. But no, he became possessed by the spirit of the enemy of the people and started repeating their mess and believing in racism and kissing up to the blacks and being pathetic and lame-o. He fell in line and he still stayed angry. He never outgrew his anger and bitterness and angst. And he wore these sunglasses at this beautiful wedding for his daughter Hailie, danced with her. It was nice to see, sort of, but he was wearing sunglasses like he has no sense. Like he's one of these musician people or something, which he is. But it makes a dark mind wonder, what is that? Why does he have sunglasses on? Is he disguising that he looks like he has on drugs or has bags under his eyes or something? What? Not good. But maybe it's just style or something. Or he doesn't want to look old, or I don't know. Doesn't want to show that he's crying for his daughter. She's his second child, I guess. But anyway, isn't that kind of sweet? I guess. And then the real story. Here's the real story. This is going to take a bit of time. I'm going to try to plow through it, though. It's a lot of words. Maybe I just read it to you. Here's another fake black victim sob story. And I'm sympathetic to the victim. You know, he answered the door with a gun in his hand. Okay, so it's interesting, though, how the blacks are like puppets. And it's human nature. I see other people doing it, of course, but the blacks are like puppets, pawns, lemmings, jumping off a cliff of judgment and bandwagoning with evil. Taking Benjamin Crump, you know, the ambulance chaser. He says, oh, a black got killed by a cop or a white? Ooh, let me get on the case and bring attention. And none of the attention is any good for anybody. Team black, team blind black victimhood. So I got this tip, shout out to the Project 12343, who replied to my stream yesterday. I guess I'll paste that in the YouTube and DLive chat and Twitch. What's up, Twitch crew? He quote tweeted some they 23-year-old black person, I think, who was replying to evil Joe Biden, the POTUS, so-called president of the United States, who was doing a lip service about police, right? Phony Joe Biden. And this was a response, this reply from this they black was doing a counter signal to Joe pretending like he supports police and saying cops are killing blacks. Sweaty Sully, vulgar sounding username of this apparently blind black young person. Body cam of a shooting from May 4th, 2024, an apartment door, you know, second floor or so. The cop knocks on the door. Open up! Something, something PD, whatever. Solo guy, maybe Hispanic, I'm not sure. Maybe white, maybe black, I don't know. They haven't identified the cop yet, to my knowledge. And the black young man, Slender Man, not to be confused with Slenderman, opens the door and he has the gun on his side, like on his, in his hand, in his right hand, and he opens the door and you can see the gun. And the cop reacts real fast and goes, put the gun down, put the gun down. And the black guy had fallen on the ground after getting shot 6 times or so. He's like, it's over there. And he died after that. Terrible, huh? Terrible. So I look up this person's, you know, this incident, and I see like I see like 3 different YouTube videos of this funeral service for this U.S. Airman from Atlanta shot and killed by a Florida deputy. Got over 100,000 views. I'm like, oh, Lord. These 100,000 people, just like I talked about with Laken Riley. You know, Laken Riley is a white victim of a illegal alien who allegedly, like, raped her and killed her or something like that. So everybody's like, Team Laken Riley, but they don't really know or care anything about her. They're just using it because they're hating the fact that illegal aliens are in our country and doing crimes in our country, and they don't even belong here. And the politicians are letting it happen. So in like manner, the blacks are mad at another black getting shot by a cop. And it doesn't necessarily look like a justified shooting, not sure, right? But they think it was unjustified. And they don't know the facts of the case. It's under investigation. But Brian Barr, an evil black guy, Benjamin Crump, a lawyer, liar, attorneys for this Fortson's family guy. Fortson, I guess, is the guy's last name, the black guy who got killed. According to NBC, he was one of one service member. Remember the black, and they capitalized the B in the word black, airman killed by a Florida deputy. The mainstream media dogpiling on this, using the blacks with this fake black victimhood narrative. It was an incident of this guy. I don't know why the cops were at his door. I haven't looked that far into the story yet, but and I don't know if I will, but I might. Mess, the main part I want to get to is mess from the evil AP. I told you oftentimes that the far left extremist outlet, Associated Press, AP, Reuters, outlets like that, have this image as if they're just not too big on like branding and flashiness, and they don't have a cable news network or anything like that. So it's kind of like NPR, right? They pretend like they're just the facts. They're basically kind of like Joe from Phoenix, only even worse, if you can believe it, than Joe from Phoenix, I think. In that, you know how Joe from Phoenix calls in with just the facts, and it's cherry-picked facts that are mostly irrelevant. They do these cherry-picked facts, and they lie. I call them extremists because they support the gay agenda, the LGBTIQ and feminism, and entertain the fake notion that Trump is racist and that racism exists and it's whites who are doing it instead of blacks who are the primary perpetrators of. For those who believe in racism, who are fair-minded, they know that blacks are the most racist because blacks are encouraged to be like that. From both outside and inside their so-called communities. In 2020, the top enlisted leader of the Air Force went public with his fear, reads this May 15th article from far-left AP News, so-called news, extremist outlet, off the deep end. They called the transgenders by their fake, not real gender. Anyway, with his fear of waking up to news that a black airman, capital B, because they're kissing up ever since George Floyd, they started capitalizing the B in the word black, had been killed by a white police officer, lowercase w, by the way. Then 4 years later, a deputy shot and killed senior airman Roger Fortson is the name of this young man who got killed. Beautiful, beautiful baby-faced young man. Terrible. Looked totally just like an innocent soul. Navy senior airman, whatever. Here's what retired Chief Master Sergeant Khaleth O. Wright stated in an interview Wednesday with the Associated Press. I doubt if that police officer knew or cared that Roger Fortson, this black guy who got killed, was an airman. What he saw was a young black male. This guy is pretending like he can read the mind of the cop who shot the guy because he had a gun. He wasn't pointing the gun at him, but it takes very little time to point a gun. So you don't know. You don't know. It's maybe like an honest mistake, or even if it is a mistake, maybe it's justified. I can't say. I'm just a layman. I can't judge the officer on man's work. I sit at a desk. After George Floyd was killed, and he wasn't killed. After he died, okay, he was killed with an asterisk. For the sake of my channel, I'll say he was killed. Oh, he was murderized by a white Minneapolis police officer in May 2020. This Wright person, retired Chief Master Sergeant Khaleth O. Wright. See, I don't respect sergeants. Wright, who like Floyd is black, felt compelled to speak publicly about the fears. They're encouraging fear, just like they pushed on women, that he and his younger troops had. It didn't seem to matter how hard he'd worked to serve his country. Yeah, right, you didn't work to serve your country. Or else you wouldn't be blabbering about your country in this way, about the whites. You don't have any love for the whites or the country? There were still police who would only see him as a threat in his evil, dark imagination. The investigation into Fortson's death is ongoing, but that doesn't stop these evil people, I'm saying, Hake is saying, from running their mouths and making up accusations and speculating like sickos, like Satan, the accuser. And the sheriff's office has not released the name or race of the officer involved, as if the race even matters. But it's interesting. I like to know the race of stuff. But not in a subversive way, just because it's interesting to know about people. On Wednesday, Okaloosa County Sheriff Eric Aiden went to Herbert Field. Fortson had served and met with Lieutenant General Tommy Blurenfeind, head of the Air Force Special Operations Command, to talk about next step. Sabu Williams, president of the Okaloosa County NAACP, National Association Against Colored People branch. He was at that meeting or whatever. He said he did not leave with a sense that the sheriff's office thought Fortson's race was a factor in the shooting. But bias certainly played a role in this thing, said this Sabu, S-A-B-U, Williams person. From my perspective, you don't have a perspective, you weren't there. We feel we don't get the benefit of the doubt. It seems like a shoot first, ask questions later type kind of thing. It's a lie. It's a lie. Blacks are less likely to get shot compared to their share of interactions with police. Did you know that? Less likely. They get more leeway in terms of acting all squirrely and out of control, if anything. I say. 2 databases, one by the Washington Compost, far-left extremists, anti-white, anti-Trump, anti-American, kill America in darkness, Washington Compost, and another compiled by Campaign Zero. Ever heard of Campaign Zero? JLP interviewed a guy from Campaign Zero years ago when I was producer, Samuel Sinyangwe. I remember that guy's name. Nice American name. He's mixed, light skin, mixed black. Maybe he was a dark skin white, right? Black Lives Matter activist. Lied about wanting to come back on. So this Campaign Zero is run by academics and activists, same thing, advocating for, listen to this, police accountability. Police accountability. Not black accountability, police accountability. And I'm for police being accountable and responsible, yes. But these people are subversives. They're not for actual accountability for police to be responsible and better. They're for babying the blacks who are out of control and never held accountable. On the whole, you know? Found that while more white people are killed in police encounters overall, black people are disproportionately killed by police. Huh. I can tell you why. Black people make about 12% of the U.S. population, but account for about a quarter, that's about 25%, of police killings in each of the databases, Washington Compost and Campaign Zero. Well, that means that they're underrepresented because they're bigger than that in terms of their share of the violence. That's double their share of the population. They're twice as likely, compared to their share of the population, to get killed by police. But they're like 4 times as likely, or 3 or 4 times as likely, the last I looked, to kill police. Did you know that? Compared to their share of the population. I thought it was triple. I thought they were like triple their share to get killed, but I guess it's only double or so. They're 4 times as likely as whites to be cop killers, I think. As I recall from looking at the numbers when I used to look at the numbers. They were 40% of cop killers in a recent decade. A recent decade, 10 years span, 40% of them were cop killers. 40% of the cop killers were black. Overrepresented among the cop killers. You see them over and over fighting with police, resisting arrest, acting erratic, going crazy. It's that anger. It is that insane fear and anger. And these evil people are encouraging that fear and anger. When you're afraid, if you're given this spirit of fear, it's not a practical fear. It's not a, let me calm down and be alert and handle myself wisely so I stay out of trouble. No, you're given the spirit of fear and you create the trouble. In spirit of anger. Not given us by God, by the way, that spirit of fear. %40 of cop killers, so they're double their share of those killed, but triple their share of those who kill cops compared to their population. In San Francisco, a recent article showed, I saw this from Jared Taylor and I looked it up myself. In San Francisco area, they were 8 times as likely to be charged with resisting arrest as the whites and Asians up in, who were getting arrested up in San Francisco area, the Bay Area. 8 times as likely, something like that, 8, 9 times as likely to be resisting arrest, which suggests, as the great Jared Taylor pointed out, that they escalate with cops, which puts them more at risk of getting, shot or whatever. Oh, but the cops need to de-escalate. Yeah, I'm for cops knowing how to be wise and de-escalate the situation, but they also have to be brutal and manly. It's manly work. You gotta be able to put the smack down. Let me interrupt this story by telling a story of my own. And then I think I'll leave the rest of this story for later, because I don't want to go too long with this, any longer than I already have, So I was at one of these fast food restaurants around here, right? Every now and then I like to go to the fast food restaurant. And I go in there right after, and I'm like, should I go in here? Because it's right after this black guy, tall, young black guy, thin guy, walks all slow with attitude. A car starts to go, but isn't sure if he's supposed to go. And the guy looks back at the car, like mad dog in the car. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to go in here. But I go in. The guy goes in and just sits down at a table or something. And I go in and go into the lobby like I'm going to order something. And I hear him from around the corner, "Get that dog away from me. I'm going to kick it. I'm going to kick it." Because Hassan was in there with his dog. Just kidding. It wasn't Hassan. And it wasn't Sandy. It was not even a French bulldog. Or whatever. Sorry. I'm not doxing Sandy's race. But it was some dog that wasn't on a leash, but it was a well-behaved dog. I'm going to kick it. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. That's fair. But he's basically just a slight bit high-strung, over-aggressive and being loud. And I'm like, I don't feel safe. And there are many times in which these people make the atmosphere unfriendly, on edge, unnecessarily. And it's just a downer. There are, there have been like homeless bums, and I don't know if this guy was homeless. Maybe he was on drugs or something, I don't know. Maybe none of the above. But there have been people who just unnecessarily get into these confrontations and yelling matches and just angry, bringing down the atmosphere. It could be a beautiful little nice, friendly fast food restaurant atmosphere. But no. And then you wonder why the Hispanics, because many Hispanics have gotten like sued for like discriminating against blacks. At Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, I think Hispanics own it, and then they discriminated against a black, and the black sued them, and he won for racial discrimination. The Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles over on Pico. I haven't been to that one. No, I have been to it a couple of times, actually. But, you know, the Hispanics work at these places, they're taking over, and then these blacks get discriminated against, partly, I imagine, because of the bad attitude that is passed down to them, and it's a vicious circle. You have a bad attitude, you have a bad situation, bad feedback from other people, and other people have bad attitudes too, and then it just escalates out of control. Whereas if you're just agreeable, friendly, like an Asian or a white or one of those soft-spoken Mexicans, you can get along with people a little bit better, unless you're one of those angry ones of those three races and ethnicities. But it's so often, and then they turn around. I told this story one time. They turn around and they're like, "Oh, I'm the only black person in here. You're just treating me this way because I'm black." No, you're acting black, dark-hearted, evil. Like you're living down to the stereotype, living up to the stereotype, living up to the bad name, and extending that bad name that you've given the blacks. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? But that's because, like JLP says, it starts in the home. That's just, they can't help it. And that's what I've realized, is they can't help it. And I saw this video reaction to this guy named Anthony Cumia, who posted about, you know, this black crime. And this video reaction is from this black guy who also knows that black crime is a problem, and he speaks out against it. And he takes issue with these whites and Italians and people, because Anthony Cumia, I think that's an Italian, right? Not a normal white. Takes issue with because there's a whole lot of so-called racists in the replies. "Oh, you're just using it for money and clout and views, and you don't actually care about what's really going on. You don't care about this and that." And it's just angry infighting over nothing. Angry infighting about two people who don't want this black crime going out of control. And neither of them have any clue how to fix it. They're just calling it out, and now they're hating each other, infighting. I say infighting because they're both against the black violent crime. But they're also angry at each other. Or at least certainly this black guy was being nasty to Cumia, making all kinds of accusations based on replies. Because a lot of people in the chat are like, N-word, or you know, the black caricature memes. Let them make their memes. He's not responsible for that. That's the equivalent of suing Alex Jones over something that supposedly Alex Jones followers did. And I don't even know if they're the ones who did that. Because there's a whole lot of people speculating about the, you know, the shooting over in whatever, not Columbine. The shooting in back east, 2012. That's that evil anger that divides, and it's infected the church and everything. You can't calm down. What does this skim think about this? I don't know. I haven't heard about it from the skim yet. We'll see what happens. I'll tell you a little bit more about it, about this later, perhaps. But I'm at the top of the hour. What shall I do? with this top of the hour here. Kind of torn about whether I want to do music or not. Let's get to Alex in California, who's on the line here. Alex in Cali, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up? How you doing?
Hey, buddy. I can be kind of quick so you can get to your music if you want.
I don't even know if I'm going to do the music, actually. But thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, last week you had a really good week of calls last week. It was great.
Nice.
I enjoyed what Crishaun the Don had to say about race and whites and all that.
Yeah.
There was
Me
one
too.
call in particular I did want to address. There was another Alex from California.
Okay.
Do you not remember?
Vaguely. Oh, yeah, Alexander. Yep.
Yeah. So is there any way we can like differentiate me from that guy? Like maybe like Alex the drummer from California?
Sure.
Just,
Yeah, I think I called him Alexander in the once I put my notes down.
okay.
Because I know him
you
as
made
Alexander.
a noise after he hung up. You went, ooh. I made the same noise.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's autistic or something, I think he said.
Okay, yeah, we won't be mean. I just felt like I needed a shower after that call.
Yeah. No, it wasn't right. It was a mess.
So yeah, one quick thing, and then I wanted to get to my main point. So I'm working on a drum technique right now, and I've been like yesterday and the day before. I took about 6 to 8 hours each day sitting on the set and working on this technique. And I went from being incapable of doing it at all to being pretty proficient in it now. Now I'm just working on increasing the speed
Cool.
and the amount of it. I was wondering if there's anything that you can relate to where you just did it for hours, just grinding it out till you got some sort of success with it.
I can sort of relate to it. Yeah, like, okay, one time, back in high school, I wanted to learn how to, like, you know, when you're laying on your back and then you pull your legs, you tuck your legs up, and then you push off, maybe with your hands sometimes, maybe not with your hands, and you kick up and you kick and you'd be able to stand, like those people.
Like a ninja.
Yeah, like the ninjas and karate people or whatever. I
used to want to do that too.
I always wanted to do that, and I never really tried because I didn't know how to start. But then I saw one of the guys do it as in cross country or track, and he said you kick up. And so like after my track meet, until like 10:30 p.m., I tried it and I tried it and I tried it and I tried it until I could do it, and then I did it. And I was like, oh wow, I did it. So yeah, it's like that.
I don't know. I just found some significance in the process. Like you're terrible at it,
Yeah.
and after a while you're able to do it. It's like wow, like I worked hard at something and I was able to achieve it. And I know that sounds like just so basic or whatever, but
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty big thing right there. I was just thinking I wish I could apply that to my real life. You know, I can do it with music, but real life is tougher than playing music.
Yeah. Well, it's like what JLP says, though. I think it is the same principle for just practice coming back to the present and watching what's going on with you. You'll get better at it. I think you will.
Right.
Yeah.
I just got to find something that I'm passionate about as far as making money. But yeah, I wanted to get to my main point here. Something for you to push up against.
Okay.
I mean, as you know, I'm a dog trainer, so I guess I'm a bit biased.
Yeah.
But I could tell even from that last caller who said that the horses and dogs were a gift from God, your energy shifted. You were disgusted. It was like we were talking about something you were just really not into. So I just wanted to know, because I'm a bit deeply disturbed on your stance on dogs, just as a white man to white man. So I want to know, like, you don't have to like dogs, but did you get like bit or something? Did something happen?
No, I totally like dogs.
Okay.
Yeah, I have gotten bit, but I harbor no resentment. I did harbor some fear as a kid of dogs after that, but I was pointing my finger right at Jake. And then I'm like, Mom, Jake bit my finger.
What did you do to him?
I was just pointing at him. I was pointing in his face, just being a kid. I don't even remember.
Okay.
And he bit my finger. He's like, but I think he thought it was a treat because I don't even remember it hurting much, but it scared me. And yeah, but no, I totally like dogs, but I don't fully agree with this. It seems almost like hyperbole. There's some truth to it that, the creation is for us.
I
But
think
to call
he put
them
that in one of the most beautiful ways I've ever heard. Not to get all fruity with it, but
yeah.
he did put it in a really nice way.
It's funny because I think you guys are going into your imaginations about about my feeling about toward dogs.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to call because to be honest, I mean I watch your show every day, but when that last call, I think it was a day or two about dogs. You guys were talking about some dude was talking about giving up his dogs. I couldn't even listen to that crap. I literally had to turn off because in my line of work, people like that, it drives me nuts.
Wait, this guy, people like the man who was concerned about the prospect of having to give up his dog?
Yeah, like if you don't have to for any circumstance, like you literally don't have to, then there's no reason to. It's. I wanted to say, like, I think we should get you a female pit bull with some fear and anxiety issues, so you can learn how to take care of something with some compassion. And dogs love white people. Like we have a magical thing with dogs.
Really?
That others don't. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many clients I've had, Asian, white, Hispanic, who have all told me, even Indian, that their dogs don't like black people. So
oh yeah, yeah.
And there's also something with black people not liking animals in general. They have a fear of animals in general.
Interesting.
That's kind of going off on a tangent.
Anyway,
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's similar with horses. Didn't whites bring horses to America and stuff? I know that American Indians
and dogs are a very white thing. They're a part of the the upbringing of the country.
Yeah.
I don't really care about horses as much in particular, but I have respect for them as far as the work and like you said, they used them in the wars and all that. I thought that was kind of messed up.
Yeah, but I mean,
they even used some bull mastiffs in the war too. Crazy.
What's that? Bull mastiffs as a
it's
dog?
A very large. It's like a 200-pound. Like imagine Hassan's little bulldog, but like 200 pounds and large.
Wow, that's awesome.
Vicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, police used to use still do use dogs. I wish police used dogs on protesters still and water hoses, but because of optics, they don't do it, and I wish they would. I think my theory is
that would be the only reason I would want them to use dogs. Like I don't use them. I don't like when they use them during police work. But yeah, to bite a bunch of liberals, theoretically, allegedly,
right? Like awesome. Justified bites, of course. Yeah.
Shake them around a bit,
Right. Interesting, man. But that man, it sounded like he was gonna need to do it. Like it was going to be getting in the way of his life, and that man seemed to have an undue attachment to his dog.
That's where you and I disagree. I think there's I'm going to use the word compassion.
Okay.
I don't know if that's Christian or not, but I think it would be important for one to have compassion for dogs as a white person, just because it's our thing,
Yeah, but we shouldn't be beta about it. I'm not putting them on the same
pedestal as kids. I understand that they're not as quote unquote important as kids, but they do have a position in the family. They're not just like something you put in the backyard. And I don't know, there is a connection there.
And you know what? I feel that slaves were treated fairly and kindly on the whole, as well from like the white Christian. If they were white Christians who owned the slaves, like
probably
they act like the slaves were kind of part of the family too in the beautiful South.
Right. If you had like a portrait of the family, they would probably have the slaves in there somewhere. They're part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I appreciate the call, and I like it. I like our disagreement on the dog stuff.
Me and Hassan are gonna work on finding a nice, fearful, anxious female pit bull for Hake, and we're gonna adopt them out for Hake.
Terrible. I'll leave it to my wife to handle, and hopefully the dog whisperer will be able to crack the whip because Hake is too nice. to the
All right,
dolls.
you take it sleepy, Hake.
All right. Take care. Bye. Wow. I got to read a few more super chats, guys. I saw some from Rumble, some Rumble rants. By the way, I saw a Rumble rant late coming from Donnie Girl's idea. Stated what? May birthdays are the best or something like that? I think was what it said. Bum, 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 bum. I think I can find it. Just give me a second, guys. Well, more than a second. It's been several seconds. Take several seats. I must have put it in the folder here. Hake, super. Da, da, da. I don't see it now. What in the world? But she said she has 13 or something like that. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Dawn. Who also said, if the earth is flat, is there another side? Can you drill to China? How thick is the earth, and how do the flat earthers explain centrifugal force, which she thinks, I believe centrifugal is pronounced centrifugal. Centrifugal force, if it's pronounced that way, kind of like centrifuge, right? A centrifuge is this thing that spins and it presses the things up against presses the thing inside the centrifuge up against the walls of the centrifuge, right? And so if centrifugal force sends you outside, but that's not the real force. The real force is the force inside toward the center when you're spinning. And so the thing is really pushing in. Did you know that? So it's centripetal, like pedal, sort of almost. Centripetal force, not centrifugal force. Centripetal force is the real one that pushes in. That's what I remember from physics. I don't really understand it. It's from, I don't know, that was high school. Thank you, Donnie Girl's idea. I don't know how they explain it. Nice. WT1 says, hey, my ninja emoji. Have you previously considered Joshua 10:13 when discussing the FE, flat earth? Much love, homie. I have not. I don't believe I have. Joshua 10:13 KJV. The sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people have avenged themselves on the enemy. Is it not written in the book of Jasher? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the truth is about that whole situation. I could not even speculate. And I don't know if it has anything to do with anything in terms of ball earth, the obvious globe, or flat. So the moon stood still, the sun stood still in the midst of heaven and hasted not to go down about a whole day. Joshua 10:13 KJV, King James Version. Cool, huh? Pretty cool. Don't know, man. Don't know. I don't know if it's a tall tale or if it really happened that way or what. Because they wrote in ways that we don't know if we're reading it right. We don't know if we're supposed to read it in the way that we're reading it. At least I don't. Maybe some people do, of course. Did Hake address the book of Jasher yet? Jasher. Pardon me, I'm drinking a sip from the Hake Report La 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 mug. Get yours, thehakereport.com. I don't remember the book of Jasher. I don't think of that as a normal book in the Bible. Yeah, beautiful Joshua tree is speaking of Joshua, is where I got this shirt. I went there with some friends. Okay, thank you, Rumble Ranters. I appreciate that. WT1, how would you explain it related to FE or ball earth? Let me know. And Dawn, what did you say, Dawn? Do you remember what you said, Dawn? Are you there? But she said something about May babies. Sweet. All right. Jaime in Minnesota on the line here. Jaime, thank you for calling, and what's up? How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you, Hake?
Doing well, thank you.
Hey, do you know why the sky is blue?
I do not.
Okay, so here's what happened. Okay, in the sun, hydrogen goes through nuclear fusion to create helium, and an offshoot of that nuclear fusion is photons, which is light.
Okay.
Like photons. Now, those photons, they come and they travel through space allegedly, and this is if you're a ball earther and a space-tard person.
Okay.
I don't believe in all that, but this is what I heard. Okay?
All right.
So those photons come to the Earth, and the Earth's atmosphere has molecules in it, gases, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, argon gases, those kind of things.
That's the air,
And
huh?
there's a lot of things in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Yeah. So when those photons go through those gases, they lose energy little by little, and they bend and all this kind of stuff, and they create a blue light. So it looks blue to us when the sun's up in the sky. 12 o'clock right now, the sky looks really blue.
Yeah.
But during the sunset and the sunrise, it looks a little reddish and pinkish and orangish.
Yeah, awesome.
That's because those photons have more of those particles to travel through. So the light weakens even further. Blue light is stronger, then you get the red and the orangish and the pinkish. There's a weaker light.
Yeah.
And that's why the sky is that color.
Cool. And so that's allegedly, and you don't even believe it, but that's the scientific explanation.
No, and this is what I heard. I heard if you go out in outer space and take a picture of the sun, it's actually white.
Oh, yeah. I could believe that. Rather than yellowish?
Yeah. So when you do that pyramid crystal thing and you shine a light at it and then you get the rainbow of colors.
Yeah.
You remember that project?
Mm-hmm. The prisms.
If you put all those colors together, you get white light out.
That's right. All the colors combined is white with regard to light.
And so that's why the sky is blue during the day, and then it gets, reddish and then all that, allegedly.
Yeah.
I think the sky is blue because of the ocean.
Oh, you don't think the ocean is blue because of the sky?
No, it's the other way around.
Interesting. And the ocean, why is the ocean blue?
Well, before I get to that, I wanted to agree with John from Kentucky.
Okay.
Kentucky John, right?
Yeah.
He's the one who's Mark's his favorite caller.
Right.
Mark is also my favorite caller.
Nice.
And, I think John must be a really smart guy.
But John claims not to... John now claims that Mark is not his favorite caller.
Yeah, I thought about that too, and I think he's just shy.
Yeah. He doesn't want to admit that a white man is his favorite. Because John in Kentucky is a black Hebrew Israelite. Well, he calls himself not black, but Hebrew Israelite. And the white man is Edom or Esau, and God hated Esau. And the Bible is not even for us, whites, pinks.
So with that light, those photons that come from the sun, they use solar panels to convert those photons to electrons, and that's how you get energy from solar panels.
Oh, okay.
And so, talking to you about it now, I'm starting to think that maybe the Earth is round.
Oh, okay. Wow. Nice.
Because if the sun is shooting out photons and then they're bending and you get the red light, I mean, how is the sky going to be red? The ocean isn't red.
Yeah.
It's red.
Oh, yeah, huh? Whoa. Fair point. Dang. Mind-blowing. That's cool, man.
I don't think I should have called today.
No, you're fine. And then why is the ocean blue?
Well, the ocean's blue. I don't know why the ocean's blue.
Okay. Yeah. Because it is sort of bluish. It's definitely sort of bluish. And I don't know if it's from the sky reflection, because it's like grayish when it's gray out. There's a lot of reflection going on. But there's also, like, when you look down on it, it's like there's greenish It's definitely like greenish and bluish and stuff like that. And yeah.
Probably has something to do with algae.
Yeah. And then also like there is some bluish maybe reflection from the sky or whatever, and then also the yellow or whatever this color of the sand is underneath.
Yeah, that flat Earth Dave really had me going. You know, I thought, yeah, it is flat, but now I don't know.
Okay. Oh, so you believed him, or did you already think that without him?
Well, I had a good hunch that it was flat.
Oh, okay. What about space? Are you still a space denier, or you're space indifferent?
I don't know where these photons are coming from.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't even understand what photons are still.
Well, it's what you get from when a nuclear reaction, a nuclear fusion with hydrogen and hydrogen combining with hydrogen to make helium, and then you get photon.
Photons spew out from the remnants of that combination?
Yep.
Huh.
See, you got it.
I still don't understand. I just said words. But it's cool, man. Science is kind of fun. Or, you know, whatever, nature, and nature's God. Or whatever. The physical creation. It's fun. And light. I don't understand it.
All right. Well, you have a good day.
You too, Jaime, Minnesota. Appreciate you, man. Bye.
Bye.
Russ in Hampton, Virginia on the line here. Russ, what's up? How you doing?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Mr. Hake?
Doing fine, thank you.
I was listening to your program, and it's real funny. Like, you may have an idea of a question that you want to ask, and when you're on hold, you listen to the thing that's going on, and that makes you think of a whole bunch of different things. So, for example, you were talking about a guy that was shot 6 times
Yeah.
in his house.
Mm-hmm.
And you said something positive about cop that shot him.
About what? I said something positive about what? About or who?
And you said something to you said something positive about the cop that shot him.
Oh, okay. What did I say positive about the cop?
You tried to say something about like it wasn't his fault or something like that.
Oh, well, I speculated it may have been an innocent.
He wasn't wrong in shooting him.
Yeah, I said I don't know. It could have been justified. I was not convinced either way.
No, it's not.
Not justified? Are you familiar with the story?
No, it's not. I don't care about the story. It's
well,
not.
How are you going to say it's not justified if you don't care about the story? But I didn't ask you if you care about it. Are you familiar with the story? Do you know the facts of the case? Do you know what the situation was?
No, I heard what you said.
Oh, okay.
You said the guy answered the door and he had a gun on his hip.
No, in his hand. In his hand, not on his hip. In his hand.
No,
down at his side. That's what I meant.
Okay, it was on his side.
To his side, yeah, pointed down on the floor.
Oh, was he pointing the gun at the cop?
No.
And he's dead.
Yeah, the young man died. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, young N-word. There's a heaven full of G's. Peace for a G.
I don't know nothing about no G's. No.
Okay, well, you don't know Tupac. You're some musician, you are.
I am a great musician, actually.
But you don't know rap pieces.
I'm too old for that.
Nice. I respect it. Go ahead. But, okay, yeah, I can understand your position, but I don't think that that's necessarily so, because having a gun at your side, in your hand, pointed down, it takes very little time to point it up and blam. You ever heard of a quick draw? This wasn't even holstered.
I don't care. Did the cop say drop it?
He did. I forget if he said it before or after he shot.
Okay.
I know he said it after, but he might have said it before. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Okay.
And that plus something else you said when I was on hold.
All right.
You were talking about black people being treated better with cops.
Yeah. They're
Are
getting
you
more
black?
leeway. They get more leeway.
Well, are you black?
Nope.
Then you don't know.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I don't have to be black.
I am black.
I don't have to be
I
black
am
to know
black.
this.
I am black.
What's
Have
that?
you
What,
think
and your,
I've
what's your
been
point?
stopped? You think I've been threatened by the cops?
Based on your attitude, I
listen.
wouldn't be surprised, but have you?
No. Let me tell you what happened.
All right, let's go.
I'm like 19 years old. I'm at work. I'm not going to say where it was, but I'm at work. I'm dressed in a uniform. So if you look at me, I'm not only in the parking lot of the establishment, but I'm wearing the uniform. So if you look at me, you know I'm working there. Now, did I say something to the cop? No, I didn't say nothing. I did not open my mouth. Did I do anything? No, I didn't do anything.
That's what they all say.
Well, no, let me finish.
Well, actually, they use a double negative. They say, I didn't do nothing.
No, let
Go ahead.
me finish.
All right.
I stepped outside of the establishment. When I stepped outside, I saw something going on between a cop and somebody. And I just stood out and looked. And that's all I did. I didn't do anything else. I didn't even get close. I just stood and looked. And they jumped on me. They threatened me. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything.
You did. You stepped outside and looky-looed.
I'm in public. I can step out if I want to.
And they can look at you and, like, accost you if they want.
No, they cannot.
Well,
They
maybe,
cannot.
Is it a violation of the Constitution or something?
Yes, because I didn't do anything.
Maybe. You might be right.
I'm standing in public.
Do you know why blacks
That's
get...
all I did.
Do you know why blacks get negative attention from cops?
Yeah, because cops are wrong. That's why.
Nope.
And they can get away with it.
They may be wrong, but you're not telling the whole story.
See, you're not black, so you haven't had to deal with that.
I don't care if I haven't had to deal with it. I'm telling you that you're not telling me the whole story. Cops may be wrong in giving blacks negative attention, but blacks are attracting negative attention.
I was at a red light one time.
So you're just going to move on from that point and not acknowledge that that's true.
No, because it's not
true or false?
And you don't
yes,
know
it is.
because
Blacks
you don't
attract
deal
negative
with it 'cause
attention.
You're not black.
I don't have to be black to know that blacks attract negative attention from the cops.
You can be wrong as you are now.
No, I'm not wrong.
Trying to give you,
you are angry and blind.
I'm trying to give
You're
you
angry,
another,
blind, and unfair.
I'm trying to give you another example of how
because you didn't give me a good
stopped.
example. You gave me an example. Any looky-loo is going to get negative attention from cops.
That's why I'm trying to give you another
And
one.
so that just has nothing to do with you being black. If it had anything to do with you being black, it's because blacks often intervene or get crazy or whatever. And blacks are disproportionately criminals. True or false?
False.
Now you're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
Yes, you are.
I'm real.
That's not real. You're a
wrong.
real liar. Because blacks disproportionately commit crimes.
You know what?
Do you know what disproportionate means?
No.
You understand what disproportionate means, do you?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm a smart black man.
Okay, so you know what disproportionate means.
But yeah.
And so disproportionate crime among the blacks is true or false?
Disproportionate means when you're white and you're convicted of rape, you get 30 days in jail. 30 days in jail. You don't get months in prison. You get 30 days in jail. That's what white people get.
That's fair.
Explain that. That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of rape it was. It depends on the rape. Not all rapes are equal.
What does it matter? He was convicted of rape.
Please. All rapes are not the same, man. Different circumstances.
Yo,
And that's not even an example of disproportionate, unless you mean, oh,
James.
whites don't get as harsh a
James.
punishment or something. Is that what you're trying to say?
we all know
So you're
that.
changing the subject. You're changing the subject
No,
away
we all
from
know
blacks
that.
commit disproportionate crime to say, oh, what about whites don't get punished as hard? You can talk about.
We all know that.
You're changing the
What
subject.
about, what if,
Because
what
you
about,
can't
what about,
handle
whoa,
the
whoa,
truth.
whoa, whoa. What about the
Whites
white
do it
kid?
too.
What about the white kid that killed people and he never stepped one foot in jail because the judge said he was too rich to know right from wrong? What about that thing?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Of
You're
course
just
you don't.
you're just an angry, into your blackness, phony black.
I'm phony.
Yeah, you're phony. You're not real. You think you're real,
Okay.
but you're not real.
Okay, well, the only phony part about me is I'm not using foul language right now because of what you said.
That wouldn't be
That's the only
phony.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
called either good sense or fear.
Well, there's nothing about you that scares me, James. Hey,
I'm not trying to scare you. I'm treating you decently, and you're not treating me decently. You're like, oh,
I
you're
am.
so angry, you want to cuss.
but I'm not.
But ooh, you want to medal?
No, I don't want nothing.
All right,
You
then we're
or
done.
Nobody else.
Good.
Yeah,
I don't
being
trust you that this
respectful.
cop was definitely wrong. He may have been wrong. He may not have been wrong. And I don't trust your stories because you people never tell the whole truth.
What do you mean, you people?
You guys who are angry and you blacks who are angry about the cops. You may have some fair complaints about the cops, but you never look at yourselves. Like John from Kentucky said, you can put a magnifying all day on the cops, but you'd better start putting a magnifying glass on yourself. Or you can just stay in hell. I don't care. You can stay in hell.
Let me ask you this.
Based John in Kentucky had some words that applied to you.
You know, I really don't care. But let me ask you this. How could I have done something wrong when I never said anything?
I don't know if you're even telling the truth.
I never got close to the person. I'm standing by the building just looking. That's all I'm doing.
And what did they do? Did they beat you?
Word.
Did they beat you?
If they would have tried to beat me, I would have fought.
So that's a no. They did not beat
but
you.
But they did threaten.
What did they threaten? They said, we're going to kill you?
They threatened to lock me up.
Okay. But did they lock you up?
No.
Then that's just how cops talk. I'm going to lock you up. Get in there. It's an empty threat. They get to lie to people.
But I didn't do anything. I'm standing
and neither did they. They didn't do anything. All they did was threaten you. All they did was threaten you, man.
I'm standing at the building where I work.
All right.
That's all I was doing.
Well, cry about it. This is you. How old are you now?
Because if
how old are you now?
If they did, I would.
How old are you now, Russ? Russ, how old are you now?
I'm very old.
So you should be over it by this point because you were 19 years old. Those cops are probably not even alive anymore.
I'm not worried about that. I'm just
yeah, you are.
You.
You're going crazy. You're trying to convince me to feel sorry for the blacks with regard to how the cops treat them.
I'm not trying to convince you to feel sorry for anybody. You do whatever you want.
The facts show that the cops don't shoot blacks as quickly as they shoot others.
Okay.
Yeah. So gotta go.
Now, see, here's the thing. I can say things to you, and then when it gets real, and you can't.
Bye, Russ. He's gonna start complaining. Complain. Oh, you're gonna run now. Talk from him. I wasted my time with 12 minutes on him. What a mess. W in Texas, Tejas is on the line here. What's up, W?
Hake.
Hey.
Got a question. Well, it's not a question, really.
And your name is spelled just spelled with a W.
No.
No?
DUBYA.
Wait, Bubya? Wait, DUBYA. W.
Correct.
Oh, okay. W from Texas. Kind of like how they spell George W. Bush. Except you're not W.
No,
Bush. Huh?
definitely. We've already been through this, bud. I'm not a
D is in dog, U is in uncle, B is in boy, Y is in Y. Y is in yerba mate. A is in apple. All right, go ahead. You've called my show before?
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked before.
Nice.
So, just quickly, really what I was calling about is I put that rant on there concerning Joshua, the verse, right?
Oh, cool. Oh, WT. Really, nice.
Yeah.
Duh.
So really, the reason I put that on there is because the question was really. So in the verse it says the sun stood still and then the moon stayed, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I thought that brought any kind of thoughts to my brain was because if you use like the current scientific consensus, in order to stop a day, or if you were going to stop the sun, then what my question is why wouldn't they say that the Earth stood still?
Interesting. Because from our perspective, the sun is staying still in the sky. You know, from the writers, the writer of the Bible, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, if the writers of the Bible, they thought that the sun and the moon was moving and not the Earth. But,
well, they didn't necessarily say whether they thought which one was moving. They were just saying it from the perspective of the Earth. The sun is moving, but they weren't saying they thought that the sun and Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to me, that's not really why I was calling. So
cool.
My other question is like, so if you look at that, and what I was saying about that is, if that happened, right, the sun stood still. If you go by the scientific consensus, think of all the things that would affect, and not just on Earth, but in the quote unquote Milky Way galaxy.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense? If everything works like they say it does, and we're flying through space and all those things, kind of like the dude on JLP was talking about yesterday.
Right.
If the sun stops, right?
Uh-huh.
And then also it said that the moon stayed, like all the other planets, where did they go?
Yeah, I don't know how that would have happened if that's true, that it happened the way that that the Bible writes that it happened, because it feels like if suddenly that stuff were to stop, we would like fly off the Earth or something.
Fly off, like all the water would go, and like a bunch of crazy stuff would happen, right?
Yeah. Although I don't know physics, I don't understand this stuff, but it's.
Well, I don't claim to understand everything either. I just thought it was, it's, and there's other verses that really talk about that in the Bible. And again, I understand that the Bible was translated and all those good things, but
yeah,
just something to think about, right? What is JLP? Something to smoke on.
Yeah, and then if you don't know, don't fill in the blank.
Well, I don't think that. I think that a lot of times, even though you may not think you do, or JLP doesn't think he does, I think that you do fill in the blanks, and I think we do as humans, right?
It's not good to fill. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure there are blanks that I'm filling in, like that's why people do insane things like be shy or insecure or angry or fearful, because they're filling in. They have filled in blanks and believed lies, and those are dark spiritual lies. So in so many ways we fill in blanks. Yep. Like the way that, let's say my caller Russ in Virginia wanted to say the cop was definitely wrong. It's a temptation maybe to go the opposite of what he's saying, but the opposite of what a liar is saying is not necessarily the truth. The liar may say something that's factual. Maybe the cop was wrong, or just say leave it as an I don't know, and don't fight the war. Don't take a side. So you're right about that.
So what's that you always say about the truth and facts?
That's right. Facts are not truth.
Right.
Yep.
Unless you're like a super intellectual person, right?
Those people are sometimes the furthest from the truth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Sweet. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for taking my call. I just thought we'd talk about that.
Definitely.
About that.
Thank you for calling, and thanks for the Rumble
All right,
rant.
man.
All right.
Yep.
Take
Have a
care.
good one.
Bye. Wow. Joe in Phoenix, Arizona, on the line here. Joe, thank you for calling and holding there, man. How you doing?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call,
I keep on
James.
bumping this thing.
All right.
Of course. Go ahead.
Well, I was out in the pasture checking my fence line because sadly we've had a real boom in coyotes this year.
Wow.
And sadly, neighbor a few houses down lost their entire chicken flock last night. So
Coyote thieves. So is this a coyote on my shirt? Did you happen to see my shirt today?
no, I'm not looking at your shirt today.
Okay. That's fair.
But so we're organizing the 4-H kids to help repair their chicken coop on Saturday.
Cool, man. I like living the rural sort of farm life. That's nice.
Yeah, it kind of struck me as we were meeting last night, seeing all these kids getting excited about helping the neighbors, and we couldn't make the bee project happen this year because there's profit involved.
Oh yeah.
So we switched to doing rabbits. We're going to raise some rabbits for the fall state fair.
Rabbits are cool.
And as I'm watching these little white kids and Hispanic kids and a couple of black kids and even a couple of Asian kids running around last night, it really struck me how grateful and what a loving and amazing life I have, when certain other people are just so full of hatred and stupidity and ignorance and just pure evil, and they're in their house, fearful and upset about 2045 coming, and I'm out here shaping and molding the next generation.
People should be living their lives regardless of what may come. We don't know what the future is. Definitely.
Yeah, sorry about that. Coughing in the air.
Yeah, but you're right. Mark in Los Angeles, there's no reason he should be angry and fearful. He should be living his life happy and whatever. Let the rest of the whites and future generations fend for themselves, because that's really all you can do is you fend for yourself and hope for the best for the rest.
All right, let's just talk about one of the favorite narratives, that the Constitution was written by white men for white men, right?
Okay.
So let's look at historical fact. John Adams, Benjamin Franklin met with the Iroquois nation and borrowed, I won't say, everything about the Constitution, but borrowed very key and core concepts from their Constitution that they already had.
The Iroquois? The Iroquois American Indians?
Correct.
Okay.
And the Constitution, when it was written, if you did not own land, you couldn't vote. If you did not speak English, no matter what skin color, you could not vote. So
Nice.
The Constitution excluded most white men at the time that it was written.
Right.
So, historically speaking, again, another lie and stupidity.
But that's not necessarily that's not stupidity. You're just saying that we didn't like the riffraff among the whites and the people who weren't, own land, people who didn't really have a stake in this world because they were poor, whatever.
I just proved clinically with facts, historical facts that are well documented, that it was not written only by white men for white men, because most white men were excluded, and the core concepts were taken from Native Americans, not white men.
But it wasn't excluded. It wasn't excluded from.
Ignorance.
It wasn't excluded from white men in favor of other races, was it? And just because it allegedly, according to you, and I've heard this story too, and just because it allegedly, according to you, got some inspiration from the Iroquois American Indians. That's a very white thing to appreciate and get the best out of other cultures, if that story is even true. It's a white thing to go and colonize and make stuff better.
Nice spin, James.
No, it's not a spin. It's the truth.
No,
isn't
that's good.
isn't it white to be like accepting of other races and ethnicities and go over there and make stuff better and build colonies, make great deals, and then if the riffraff gets too crazy, you put the smack down. It's what Israel's doing right
love
now.
that word, smackdown.
I like that. Isn't it what Israel's doing right now? They're putting the smack down. They were trying to make deals with the Palestinians, but they're too squirrely, so they had to put the smack down. America did that too.
It's not the Palestinians, it's Hamas, and they're just crazy people. So
yeah, but the Palestinians can't get Hamas under control.
That's for sure. That is for sure.
Is it a genocide?
There's no answer there. There's no answer there. That hatred goes too deep and goes too far back.
There's hatred between both sides, huh? Towards each other?
Sure.
Is Palestinians mostly Christian, or is it like 3% or less Christian?
I think it's a small amount that's Christian over there, yeah.
Yeah. So forget them. I don't care about them.
Which, I was
right?
I was talking to a Mormon buddy of mine.
Okay, go ahead.
A Mormon buddy of mine from Utah, from Sandy, Utah. He took his whole family, in-laws included, over to Kenya for a photo safari. And he said he had the best time of his life, and they were treated like royalty.
In Africa?
In Kenya, yeah.
Nice.
They went to
Kenya is a nice Christian. Is Kenya Christian?
There's a lot of missionaries there, yeah.
Yeah. So they're one of the more functional countries.
And they got pictures of the Big 5 game. Said it was fantastic. And they stayed at you're going to laugh at this name. I think he said it was the Kajuju Resort.
Nice.
I'm not remembering it, and it's a beautiful resort there.
Were they civilized like that before or after white influence? White Christian influence.
Yeah, you're trying to troll me, James.
No, I'm serious. I'm asking the question.
Of course there was civilization before colonization. Of course there was.
Well, were they civilized like that specifically?
Sure, absolutely.
Kevin Howe agrees with me that it is very white to be to learn from other cultures, learn good things from other cultures.
I wouldn't say that's exclusively a white.
No, it's not. I didn't say exclusive. I just said it's a white thing. It's one of the distinguishing. It's distinctly noticeable among the whites.
I would say it's an intelligent quality to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying whites are intelligent? Nice.
Some are, of course they are. Some are absolutely not.
Right on, man. You're not intelligent. You're intellectual sometimes.
Well,
most of the time.
Says the guy who went to Azusa Pacific, a second-rate, not even second-rate college.
I didn't want to go to a fancy college. I specifically went to, I wanted to stay local. I went to Pasadena City College, and then I transferred to APU. I wasn't trying to go to I wasn't brainwashed into, go to a reputable college.
Because you couldn't get into one.
You don't know that.
Sure
You're just making that up.
Nope. You've had enough gas over the years. I know where your intellectual level is.
You have no clue what you're talking about.
It's no surprise you had to go to a junior college to start.
I didn't have to go to a junior college. I wanted to go to a community college to start. You just have no clue. You're just making up stuff.
Because it's all you could get into. That's right.
No, it had nothing to do with that.
And the barriers of entry were very low.
Do you have any idea how many colleges I have applied to?
I'm sure you applied to a lot, and you could barely get into APU. So
you're sure of nothing. I applied to one college. I applied to one college, Pasadena City College. Pasadena City College, the only college I applied to. And then I applied to one college after that, APU. So you're sure of a whole lot of stuff that's not true.
I'm trolling you right now the way you troll me all the time.
Okay.
And you know things about me that you have no clue about.
So you're admitting that you're just making that up completely?
I'm trolling you like you'd like to troll me.
Are you admitting that you made that up completely? You have no clue what you're talking about?
I'm trolling you the way you troll me.
Do you admit that you made that up and you have no clue, really?
I'll say it again. I'm trolling you the way you enjoy trolling me.
All right. He cannot admit that he's just lying. He's just having fun. He's saying trolling, but I don't troll with lies. I troll with the truth.
You troll live constantly.
No, I don't.
Absolutely. You
I
do.
mean, I may joke around and like,
And
okay.
you cannot admit it, but you do.
No, I don't. You can't admit it. Anyway, I got to run. Nice talking with you, I guess.
You too. Have a good day.
All right, bye. The snake. I forgot to get the snake out. I forgot to get my snake out for Crooked Joe. Oh, man. No, I cannot do it. Hassan is like, Mark. Mark in Los Angeles is on the line. Robert in Kansas is on the line. Michael in California is on the line. Daniel in Texas is on the line. Daniel in Texas wanted to know, do you know the things you're wrong about? I definitely don't. Well, there's some things that I may kind of know. Michael in California wanted to talk about dogs and cops and shootings. Hassan's like, just for a minute. But no, I have a hard, fast rule. I'm not Joel Friday anymore. I used to be like that. I used to, like, take calls and go over. Robert in Kansas wanted to help out with flat earth questions. Callers and super chatters, I cannot get to any of more of your stuff. Evil is Still Real does say, don't let Joe degrade your 5-year art degree. Thank you. Yeah, I did take the 5-year rule. And he also says, what is the ethnicity, nationality, religion, or race that would be the target of this genocide, J? Palestine is not a nation, says evil is still real. Yeah, I don't really buy that. I think it's a liberal word on top of the fact that it's just blah, blah, blah. I gotta end, guys. I cannot get to you. Call me tomorrow. Do I have time to play that Tora Tora Torrent song? Let's see. I don't think I do. So let's just play Walk Like Jesus. This is Mary Rice Hopkins. Adios, America. I want to walk like Jesus. Bye.
I want to walk like Jesus. I want to go wherever he goes. I want to walk like Jesus, for I know he loves me so. I want to walk like Jesus. I want to go wherever he goes.
I want to
walk like Jesus, for I know he loves me so.
Is it loud enough, guys?
If I walk in Jesus' love, I will share his
Nice.
love with you. I'll be your friend, even when love's so hard to do.
Do more push-ups, Hake. Good advice.
Walk like Jesus. I want to go wherever he goes. I want to walk like Jesus, for I know he loves me so.
This was Hake's jam.
I'll be his voice, I'll be his feet, I'll be his hands to everyone I meet. Walking and talking and loving like him. I'll be his feet to wherever I
This song is ableist.
I want to walk like Jesus. I want to go wherever he goes. I want to walk like Jesus, for I know he loves me so.
Amazing Asia, thank you for your coffee. I'll read it tomorrow.
Walk like Jesus.
I want to go wherever he goes.
I want to walk like Jesus, for I know he loves me so.
Popcorn stump cake. Hey.
I want to go wherever he goes.
Play it backwards.
Walk like Jesus, for I know he loves me so.
Good message, horrible music.
Tells me so.
You hear the whistle? Hake on the whistle. Adios, America. Bye.